Welcome back. Sports Show on the YouTube. Week 5 in the books for the National Football League. Let's just get right into some of these scores and opinions. The Detroit Lions go 4-1 with a 42-24 ass spanking. The Carolina Panthers, I think we talked about last week, worst teams in the NFL. I think both of us forgot Carolina. Did not have a win at that point, but they go to 0-5. Montgomery, 109 yards and a touchdown. Williams, the wide receiver, coming back for suspension, 2 catches, 2 yards, so he had a great game. Jared Goff, 20-28, 236 yards, 3 touchdowns. Hutchinson, did you see that one-handed interception he had up there on that little screen play?
That was J.J. Watt-esque, wasn't it?
Oh, man, that was more like Odell Beckham in a damn defensive lineman jersey out there. Also threw in a sack. Yep. Lions, 4-1. Can we safely say they're the third best team in the NFL? Or for the NFC at least?
Yep.
Yeah, behind Philadelphia and San Francisco, kind of hanging around. I think home field advantage is going to be huge for the Lions. At the Bears, 40-20. Justin Fields, 282 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Talk about a breakout game for a young quarterback out of Ohio State. But DJ Moore, 8 catches, 230 yards, 3 touchdowns for Chicago. 5 sacks for the Bears defense. Must be nice to be on the other side of that stat. And I want to talk about this over there in Washington real quick. I don't think Rivera's sticking around. I think it was one of those things he kind of kicked himself in the ass, I think, by signing Eric Bieniemy out there as the coordinator. I think that's your next head coach out there in Washington.
Yeah, I don't think there's any arguing that. That's why he went out there. He knew what was going to happen.
Saints, a 34-0 win over the poor New England Patriots. Saints go to 3-2. Patriots go to 1-4. Matt Jones, is he arguably the worst starting quarterback in the NFL? Throw him up there with Daniel Jones, you think?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question there. Patricia ruined him.
Patricia ruined a lot of shit, man. Patricia ruined a lot of my Sundays the last couple of years when he was head coach out here. The Jets, another horrible
I hate that guy.
2-3, a 31-21 win over the Broncos. So many bad damn teams. Broncos, I'm telling you, man, I don't even think Sean Payton wants to coach the rest of this season. I think he might be quitting about at the 8-week point as they lose, like I said, 31-21. Horrible game out there. There's too many Wilsons in this damn team. Zach Wilson, 19-26.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson, right.
Russell Wilson. Let's ride.
Woo! 19-26 for Zach Wilson, 199 yards and an interception. He looked awful, too. So did Russell. 20-31, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, but just a nasty sack fumble that was recovered and taken back for the Jets. Hackett says, "Kiss my ass, Denver. I'm still a good coordinator," as they pull off the win. And the London Jaguars, Jacksonville, goes to 3-2 with a 25-20 win over Buffalo. Buffalo sustaining another massive injury on the defensive side of the ball. Milano out for the season with a knee injury. You already got the cornerback White out with an Achilles. And Daquan Jones, their defensive lineman, they also lost out for the season. They picked up the old man Josh Norman for a cornerback out there for the Panthers. Jacksonville, though, 25-20 over Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills, you'd think they should be shaking in their boots at this point. They don't really look spectacular like I thought they would. Agreement, but there's so many injuries on that defensive side of the ball. That was my Super Bowl pick. I'm not feeling confident about that.
Yeah, how's my Super Bowl pick going right now?
Hey, man, they're looking pretty good, though. Josh Burrows, we'll get into that later. Actually had a first decent game of the season. The Texans, I think one of the surprising teams in the NFL, lose to the Falcons 21-19, but C.J. Stroud still has not thrown an interception yet. The Colts, 3-2, a 23-16 win over the Titans. Is Derrick Henry dying and they're just not telling us? Because I don't understand what's going on with the carries. It seems like every other game he's getting a lot of carries. Just check these numbers out. Week 1, 15 carries. Week 2, 25. Week 3, 11. Week 4, 22. And Week 5, only 13 carries. So I'm assuming next week he's going to be in the 20 range, but just seems kind of weird when you actually break down the numbers here. Seems to be some kind of pattern with him for whatever damn reason. I would run him damn into the ground, especially when you're struggling here at 2-3. But do you think Derrick Henry's career is kind of going on the shelf like a lot of these running backs get to at some point?
Yeah, I think he's at that point. He's been workhorsed and used and abused and put away wet for how many years now? So, and it happens eventually. They all fall off, and this might be it. Does Vrabel get fired out there in the next year or two?
Ooh, Vrabel?
I mean, what have they really accomplished out there?
Yeah, they're always kind of middle of the pack too. I think in the NFL, like the NBA, actually at this point in any sport, you just have to fully tank. I think you don't want to be stuck with that like 15, 16 pick. You want to get there in the top 3 at least a couple years. He does. Speaking of running backs, Chan. I love this guy. 11 carries, 151 yards, and a touchdown. He's averaging 12 yards a carry with 460 yards and 5 touchdowns. It's an exciting team in the NFL. The Dolphins go to 4-1 with 31-16 win over the Giants. Do have some news though on Chan. It seems like he's going to be out for at least a few weeks with a knee injury. Not good stuff. But Daniel Jones for the Giants also suffering an injury, a neck injury. Only 884 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. He's had a horrible season. So many bad quarterbacks this year, right?
Dude, the quarterback play in this league has been absolutely the worst I've ever seen it, including my own quarterback, Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, weird, isn't it? It just, all these elite guys, I think what it is I think a lot of these quarterbacks, they're just reaching a pick in the draft just because they're a quarterback. They're not going by the actual, talent. It's like, we got to grab a quarterback. Let's just grab one in the first couple rounds, and that's really showing because the quarterback play has just been fucking nasty.
And we talked about that a little on the last pod about how those, was it last 2 years ago's first rounders when they said none of them were good?
Oh, yeah.
They all look like they're bad. So
yeah, I think
that's a big part of it.
I think Bryce Young was a reach too, to be honest with you. I mean,
he looks terrible.
Yeah. Steelers. How about them Steelers? 17-10 win over the Ravens. The Steelers go to 3-2. Typical Ravens-Steelers game, man. Drag him out, dogfight, physical in the trenches. Steelers able to get the win. Pickens, 6 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. For Pittsburgh, TJ Watt doing what he does with 2 sacks, but the quarterback play.
He's got 8 already. 8 sacks already.
God, what is that? God, he's on pace for like about 27 or 28, or if my math is correct, right?
I think it's like, something around there. And the record's 22.5 by him, so he's going to demolish that if he stays healthy.
That's insane, but Lamar Jackson did not look well. Yeah, thumbs down. Another.
He stinks.
Yeah, another. I think Pittsburgh has a legit chance. I think they're in first place. They're in first place
right
now.
Maybe I watch that offense, and it's just a train wreck all the time. Like when he threw that big bomb to Pickens, they had video of our shitbag coordinator, Matt Canada, in the booth, like face cam. He's like disappointed. He's sitting there like, why did he do that? We can't have any offense here. It's just, if we had any other offensive coordinator, I'd say yes, but it's just a disaster.
It's going to be one of those divisions.
Lamar sucks.
I think one of those divisions where they're going to just beat the living shit out of each other, though.
That's the North. It always is.
Yeah, I think you might
always is, dude.
I was going to say 9-7. I guess it would be a 10-7 team. I'm still not used to this damn 17 game shit.
Except for the Browns, because speaking of bad quarterback play.
All right, Eagles rolling here, 23-14 over the Rams. Go to 5-0. The Rams drop to 2-3. Jalen Carter 2 sacks. Hassan Reddick 2 sacks. Just a typical dominating defensive performance by the Eagles as they go to 5-0. The Bengals got some little bit of life in them here. Go to 2-3 now with a 34-20 win over the poor Cardinals, who dropped to 1-4. Burrow, 317 yards, 3 touchdowns. Chase, 15 catches, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns. Hendrickson, 2 sacks. The Big D lineman out there for the Bengals, 6 sacks in the game for Cincinnati. Cincinnati's shown a little bit of life here. We're talking about that same division out there with Baltimore. Call it the Steelers. Do you think Cincinnati can come back in this division here?
Well, I think everyone's either 3-2 or 2-3 in that division. So, I mean, anything's within reach. But Cincinnati just does not look good. I think Joe Burrow's still, from that preseason injury, reeling from that. If he gets it together, I think they'll be better. But their offensive line there in Cincinnati is, oh my goodness, it's just a train wreck. They're really, really bad.
Yeah, I think this win actually, and I hate to spoil the Bengals fans out there, but I think this is more the competition than the actual Burrow's coming back from the injury. I think the Cardinals are so bad it kind of didn't seem as bad, but we'll see as it all unfolds for Cincinnati. Sliding over to the Chiefs, 27-20 win over the Minnesota Vikings, who are fucking
I hate
awful.
The Chiefs.
Jefferson, hamstring injury. He's going to be missing a couple weeks as the Chiefs go to 4-1. Vikings go to 1-4. And the 49ers, Slapping
Jesus.
the hell. Yeah, the Cowboys 42-10. They go to 5-0. Cowboys go to 3-2. Kittle, 3 touchdowns. Fred Warner, Bosa, Greenlaw, all the defensive dominating players out there for San Francisco definitely showed up in this game. Pretty 4 touchdowns. Cowboys, man, look awful, especially Dak Prescott out there, huh?
Yeah, Dak is another one like Lamar. They are not big game quarterbacks. They're just not. When the game doesn't matter and it's some shitbag team, cool, they'll pad the stats. But when they get into a must-win game or with a big team, they can't do it. They get embarrassed every time.
Doesn't it seem, though, man, like just because you have a QB next to your position, you're just going to get the bank? I mean, you could be a third-string quarterback. This NFL is just so quarterback-obsessed. We talked about earlier about guys just reaching and getting drafted probably a good maybe full round or two when they should have, just because the position they play. I think we're going to start seeing a change in the league. I don't think we're going full round run game, but I think more speed at the wide receiver position. To me, I don't want to say it's as important as quarterback, because quarterback's always going to be the best position that you're going to need to win. But if I'm building a team, give me the fast wide receivers and at least a decent quarterback who can put it up in the air. And I'm not reaching for a quarterback. Just because we need one, I'm not taking one in the first round unless I feel he's value of that first round pick out there.
Well, look at the Lions with Goff. Is Goff the best quarterback in the league? No, but they've surrounded him with an amazing running back room, an amazing wide receiver core, and that's enough to get it done, and that's what matters. Yeah, and an amazing defense.
Right, and I think the Lions are...
For everyone being dead in the defense.
The Lions are going to run into this fucking problem. They're going to have to fucking pay him. And I don't want to pay Jared Goff a top 3 quarterback because he's not, and that's what we got into. Just because he has a QB next to his name, he's going to demand the money, and he's having a good year. But I would nowhere put him in the class with Burrows or any of these other elite quarterbacks. Mahomes, obviously, nowhere near that. Thought you were a Swiftie, man.
That's a topic for another podcast. To hell with all of them.
Okay, the Raiders pulling off a win, helping the Lions 17-13. The Raiders go to 2-3. Packers go to 2-3. How about the damn Lions with a full fucking 2-game lead in the division? Kind of weird to even say it, right?
It is a trash ass division. Jordan Love looked awful in that game.
Yeah.
Green Bay's not a good team. That's another guy that's going to get fired. That guy's tenure in Green Bay has been nothing short of a disaster. He had really good teams up there, and they didn't even make it out of the first round of the playoffs. So he's going to get canned.
Yeah, I think this division is clearly for the Lions taking. I think we talked about them getting a first round bye. I think the NFC East is a lot better, and I also think the NFC West is better. So I think that might give San Francisco, and I can't think of that in my fucking head right now, but the other team I just mentioned, Philadelphia. Yeah, I think San Francisco and Philadelphia, just because the divisions they play in. Yeah, I think you already got through, honestly, the hardest part of your schedule. Taking on Seattle, taking on Kansas City. So, I mean, it's pretty much smooth sailing from now, especially against their division. They might go undefeated in the division. Actually, if you look at it, with Chicago looking bad,
that division's
horrible, right? All right.
Where's Kirk Cousins end up? You know he's going to get traded.
Kirk Cousins, I would probably say Taco Bell on Eureka is where he probably ends
up. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Because he does.
Or at Harper's in East Lansing.
He's fucking one of them. That fucking Pizza Hut. I don't fucking know. He does look bad, man. That whole Minnesota team, they're gonna have to just implode it. You can maybe get something with Jefferson this year, but I don't even see the point even holding on to him. I mean, you already are what? What are they? 1-4, I think.
Yeah, they're awful.
Yeah. Slide over to the college here. Georgia smacking the shit out of Kentucky, shutting down my guy Ray Davis. Held only 59 yards, 51-13 win. Drop a bomb on Kentucky. I got a little topic here. Out of all the elite programs that came into the offseason with quarterback questions, I'm talking Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia. Georgia seems they had no problem replacing that position, whereas Alabama's is struggling. Ohio State is definitely struggling, and then they pulled that out of their ass that second half. So Georgia looking pretty good. Michigan 52-10 over Minnesota. Should Michigan be concerned about their run game, especially with Edwards? I only gave him 4 carries this game.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, man. You're a Michigan fan. I'm obviously not, so I don't. Is the O-line bad, or did a lot of guys graduate, or?
No, I don't think so. Edwards had that hand injury. He played for almost the entire season last year. I mean, I'm sure he's fully recovered with that. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Edwards is the one I'm concerned about because he really was the smash guy that you had out there, and Corbin was kind of a little slasher. So kind of weird what's going out there in Michigan. Oklahoma, probably the best game of the day. I don't know if you caught this. 34-30 over Texas. Great back and forth game. Oklahoma jumping number 4 in the polls now with the win over Texas. Hook 'em, Orange. See ya.
Orange
State,
down.
Man, Ohio State struggled the entire first half.
They stink.
Yeah, did not look good. Offensively, there's just nothing doing there.
That good. Their O-line doesn't particularly look good. They have no running game. Michigan may hang 100 on them, man.
Oh, God, I would love that.
I mean, as much as I'm a State fan and I hate everything U of M, who's going to beat them in the Big Ten other than Penn State? Because I think Penn State is measurably way better than Ohio State. I put Ohio State 3rd, but that's the only game that matters. You play November 11th.
Yes, they do. At Penn State, too.
That's the only team I think that's going to beat them. Ohio State's got absolutely nothing on anybody in the Big Ten. Penn State's going to murder them, too. So,
I agree.
It's Michigan and Penn State.
I think the only thing with Penn State, their problem is their quarterback, I think, is a little bit too young. But I think next year and the year after that, Penn State might be overtaking Ohio State. How crazy would that be? A little bit shifted out there once, finally. Penn State.
If Day doesn't win the Big Ten this year, he's gone. There's no question he's out of there.
Yeah, I agree. Ooh, what about bringing Urban Meyer back?
Urban Meyer's coming to my university, buddy, okay? He's reserved for East Lansing. Yes, there's some reports that he was in East Lansing interviewing for the job last week. Let's do it. I don't care about personality. I just want to win. That's all I care about.
What if he?
I don't want some.
What
was that
kicker?
Fuck that kicker. Their kickers have sucked for the last 10 years.
Man, I did not.
I just want to win. I don't want some. I'm not interested in any of these names that have been floated other than him. I don't want some shitbag from the MAC. I don't want some shitbag from Toledo. I don't want a coordinator. Bring me him on a platter.
Do you think? I think there's just so much competition right now, and especially next year that's going to be going on. I mean, I would make the move as well, but it's just going to be so hard out there with USC and Michigan and Penn State getting better.
That's why you got to make the move, because if you bring in some shitbag, like just to bring up one name that I've seen these writers bring up, Narduzzi. Fuck that guy. That guy's a whiny little bitch out there in Pitt, and he's not won a damn thing. He hasn't even won the ACC. He hasn't even managed to win the damn ACC. He stinks. I don't want any of these geriatrics out there. I don't want any of these guys that have no history of winning. I don't want a MAC guy.
Come on, man.
I'm not like you. Your window to get a program together is very short, like you brought up. If you don't get it together within the next season to 2 seasons in the Big Ten, you're done. Just stick a fork in your program. I don't want 6-6. I don't want 7-5. Harlan Barnett's a dumbass. Get him out of here. Fire this whole staff and bring in professionals. The only other person I want for that job, and I would accept, is Hartline. But if Day gets fired, Hartline gets the job there. So I don't think he's going anywhere.
All right, well, there it is. Moving on, USC. Talk about a bad defense out there. 43-41, barely pulled it out against Arizona. That's definitely a weak link there for that USC team, as they're going to have to be winning these games in shootouts. They win 43-41, and Alabama knocking off Texas A&M in a very unimpressive performance by both teams out there. Alabama just has to get something going on offense if they even want to stay alive out there.
SEC stinks this year, man.
Yeah, they do, don't they? They really do.
Yeah, Big Ten's better.
Yeah. You got Georgia, and that's fucking it, man. LSU doesn't look good. Yep. Texas A&M don't look good. Bama, we just talked about, don't look good.
Bama ain't beating nobody.
Yeah. Not even that, though. You would expect Bama at some point to drop 50 or 60 on somebody, whether it was Ole Miss, Texas A&M. That shit just ain't happening. And no offense.
They got no quarterback. They got 3 quarterbacks that are probably, realistically, Big Ten West quarterbacks.
Right.
Who should be playing for Iowa.
And they've gone through all 3 of them this season. He's tried everybody.
Yeah, neither of them's been any good.
He's tried everybody. All right, that wraps it up for college football and the damn NFL. Thanks for watching. See ya.